Begin with honesty, not the image you show the world, but the hidden forces shaping your thoughts, fears, reactions, and silent decisions. There is an invisible engine behind your emotions, a system operating beneath consciousness, guiding behavior long before logic appears. Psychology calls part of this force the shadow. Not evil, not weakness. Simply the unseen side of the human mind. Light and darkness coexist inside every person. One cannot exist without the other. Yet most people try to hide half of themselves. We polish the surface, we pursue approval. We chase perfection. Meanwhile, unprocessed emotions continue, shaping our behavior in silence. Envy, anger, fear, and control do not disappear when ignored. They gather strength beneath awareness and eventually surface in action. If you have ever felt shame for a dark thought or guilt for an impulsive reaction, you are not broken, you are human. Dark. Psychology is not only about manipulation of others, it is also the silent manipulation you perform on yourself. Procrastination is rarely laziness. It is often fear wearing a practical disguise. Self-sabotage is not stupidity. It is usually conflict between who you want to be and what you fear becoming. We are taught that mental health means constant happiness. But true mental health requires integration, not perfection. Integration means facing what you avoid. It means allowing awareness to touch uncomfortable truths without running away. The fear of being fully seen builds walls. And those walls slowly transform into emotional prisons. Radical acceptance does not mean loving pain. It means accepting the full complexity of your humanity. When you stop fighting the shadow, you begin to understand what it is trying to protect. Anger often guards wounded boundaries. Envy reveals unmet desires. Control hides fear of uncertainty. Repression consumes enormous energy. Awareness releases that energy back into your life. What you hide the most often contains the key to wholeness. To understand dark behavior, we must return to primitive emotional wounds. No one is born destructive. No one is born manipulative. These patterns are learned through survival. Defense mechanisms are not moral failures. They are psychological shields formed under pressure. If love felt unsafe in childhood, the nervous system learned to stay alert. Control becomes protection. Withdrawal becomes defense. Silence becomes armor. Projection hides what we cannot accept inside ourselves. By placing it onto others, unprocessed pain does not disappear. It hardens into patterns that shape adult identity. Understanding separates who you truly are from what you were forced to become. Awareness is the only real antidote to automatic, dark patterns. The trigger reveals the pattern. Rejection, criticism, abandonment, or invisibility activate old survival programs. Behind most reactions lies a quiet belief. I am not enough, I will be abandoned. Beliefs distort perception. A delay becomes rejection. Silence becomes threat. The pause between stimulus and reaction is where freedom begins. Reflection is not punishment. It is sovereignty over your inner world. if repression created the shadow. Integration leads toward healing self. Compassion is not weakness. It is the foundation of real transformation. The destructive part of you is often a frightened part of you. Boundaries prevent resentment from mutating into manipulation. Light does not destroy darkness. It transforms it through understanding. Integration is not linear. Old patterns will return. Progress is returning to awareness faster. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the doorway to authentic connection. Shame survives in silence. Naming pain reduces its power. The nervous system silently shapes emotional life. Through fight, flight, rest, and recovery, a chronically activated system creates anxiety, exhaustion, and constant alert. The body reacts to perceived danger, even when the danger no longer exists. Attachment patterns define how we seek closeness or distance. Anxious attachment fears abandonment. Avoidant attachment fears loss of self. This silent dance creates misunderstanding, dependency, and emotional instability. Cognitive dissonance protects identity by distorting uncomfortable truth. The mind prefers familiar pain over uncertain freedom. Exhaustion is the cost of maintaining a divided self. The body carries emotional history through tension, insomnia, and fatigue. Freedom does not come from eliminating fear. It comes from understanding it. Knowledge of the nervous system allows regulation instead of resistance. Acceptance dissolves the need to justify harmful behavior. Compassion transforms survival strategies into conscious choices. Your wholeness is not the absence of darkness. It is the integration of light and shadow. Healing is not deleting parts of yourself. It is learning to care for all of them. Representing the inner child rewrites ancient emotional scripts. Between trigger and reaction lies your greatest power. Choice peace is not the absence of storms. It is knowing you can navigate them. When awareness becomes your guide, you no longer fear your shadow. You learn to walk with it in clarity and strength.